What's up, everybody? Main boat guy back again. Be turning into main snowmobile guy here soon. Back again with my 2019 Switchback Assault 144. Today we are going to install, if I can get it on here, premium heated seat AXYS. 2882819 is the part number. So we have got in the box the seat, instructions, wire and harness, yada yada yada. These fit both the 800s and the 850s. To my knowledge, from what I've heard, what I've read, these already have the harness for the seat installed. So they're a little easier than the 800. The 800 comes with a harness. I almost want to say you've got to take the fuel tank off. But on this one, most we need to do is get this cover off so we can mount the switch underneath. I'm sure you guys already know how to take your side covers off. So that's the first thing you're going to do is pull both side covers off. And then underneath, inside, let's see, right there. This harness plugged into that. Just disconnect that harness. And then Zeus clip. If I can get it, I'm going to use a knife because I don't have fingernails because I chew them right off. But that's beside the point. So the half turn clip, and it should stay in there. And then same on this side. Half turn clip, and then once that's loose, it's only snapped underneath the front there. Sorry for the messy garage, but it's just been busy. So if I can get that to stay there, I'll pop that hood off. So it just sits in them tabs up front. And that's always a good time now to get all the covers cleaned up and how nasty it is inside here, even though this machine's brand new. It was outside, so it got dirty. So next, I've got to get the instructions out and figure out exactly which ones. I believe we've got to take that air intake off the front here. Then we've got some screws here. Push pins. We'll get that panel out of the way. So we'll be right back. All right, so the two screws directly under the handlebars are going to be a T40. I already pulled those out, sorry. And then the push pin. You see how much of a mess this sled is, even though it's supposed to be new. Those push pins were a pain in the butt. I usually use that style, push pin pliers. But this, I had to use a small screwdriver just to get it out of there. So, next step, we're gonna be, let's see, that push pin above this air plenum, and that little zip tie, right there. We're gonna cut that off. We're going to disconnect or unbolt ECU bolts. Come on. One right there. And the other one's hidden back there somewhere. 2 bolts for that, and that moves out of the way. And then that top piece should come right off. So our next thing is to pull this panel. Grab the camera, show you where the push pins are on that. So we've got, where is it? Right there. One push pin on that side. One on that side. Then you'll need to remove the gas cap. And then this giant nut, which is usually the biggest pain in the butt because you don't want to mar it all up with a giant pair of pliers. I'm sure Polaris has a special tool for it, but we're just going to try with a rag and loosen that right up. So yeah, see if we can do that. See if we can't break something. Whoop, stay still. Not too bad. Always remember, as soon as you take that off, actually pull the plastic out of the way and put your gas cap right back on. Oh yeah, clutch tool on this side. So there is going to be one more push pin on the other side. I'm just going to pop this up so I can put my gas cap back on and not drop anything back down in there. So there is one more push pin on this side, where the clutch tool is on that side. This one has the push pin. And then you're going to have your recoil. Totally up to you whether you want to untie the recoil. Basically what we're going to be doing, right in this spot right here, we're going to use with the instructions and find the template. Template there. This is to make sure the page printed right. Just measure that, make sure that measures 4 inches, and then you'll know this is the right size. And you want to cut this out, tape it. That's no, this side. It's going to tape right on there, and you're going to drill each one of those holes out until you get it that piece out, and then you can come back with a file. And that's a pretty important thing when you're doing it, because this switch, I've seen people do it before, trying to flush mount a switch. They don't give you much area, not much room for mistake. Taking the switch out of the package just so you can hopefully see it. But yeah, that's your room for error, is that probably 1/8 inch on either side. So when you cut that hole out or drill the hole out, if you over drill, you're going to have gaps in this. It's going to fit, looser than it could be. So be very careful, very wary when you're putting that back in there. And I believe this is going to be the switch harness, but on these, I am told that inside this bag lies the harness. And there it is. So right inside this enclosure with your wiring harness is the plug for the switch. So now when you make that mark, that switch is that wire is gonna stay protruding out of this bag. So I'm gonna put all this back in the bag except for this wire. Try and keep it separated a little bit. I'm seeing an RCA accessory power, which I've got a feeling I can plug my heated shield in somehow, so I'm going to do a little research in that before I even put this bag back on there. So, let's see. I'm going to get some more tools ready and we'll be back. Alright, not exactly sure where I left off last, but switch is mounted. That was quite a bit of swearing and stuff. You can see I got some, if you look at the bottom of the switch there, it looks a little hacky on the top too. That was yeah, I don't even know. That sucked trying to do that. I guess taking the recoil rope off and maybe, I don't know, sitting this thing on a bench somewhere and holding it really steady when drilling those holes. That was a pain in the ass. But now I've been waxing everything as I put it back on. Now I'm getting my fingerprints all over it again, but at least I got a coat of wax on it. So I'm going to get this top panel put back on. And then we'll change the seat around, swap it over to the other seat. Alright, so now we're going to pull the seat off. This will be my first time doing this, but there are a couple tabs. Come on. If we can get the phone to turn the right way. There we go. A couple push lock tabs right there. I think we can move this out of the way enough. If not, I believe there's some bolts. I think they're on the inside. Yeah, for the lock and ride, loosen those up and slide it back. Let's see if I can stand this up for now. Alright, I'm going to clean some of this up, throw a little coat of wax in there, probably zip tie that wire up. I'm going to let the bag dry out because I had washed the sled before I started doing this, so everything's soaked still. Yeah, we'll come back and test her out.